Yes, YouTube, how are we doing? It's been a while since I picked up the camera. I have been slacking on the content game. So I don't even know when the last video was, maybe like a couple of weeks ago. So I'll give you just a little bit of an update about what's been going on. To be honest with you, I have been finding it incredibly difficult to pick up the camera. When you're in the routine of doing it, it's really easy. And I really enjoy it, but as soon as I don't pick that camera up for a couple of days, honestly, it's an absolute pain. What's this car doing? Anyway, once I don't pick the camera up for a couple of days, like the motivation to actually pick the camera up again and record, I just don't want to do it, which is annoying because I really enjoy doing it when I do it. It makes no sense. But I think the cold, dark days are getting to me a little bit as well. Motivation obviously just runs a little bit lower when it's dark, you're waking up, it's cold, just you don't want to get out of bed. So motivation to actually pick up the camera and record has just been a little bit low. When it comes to my routine, training, everything like that, I'm still very much locked in on that. I'm still getting up in the mornings, doing my vacuums, doing some mobility work, doing my cardio, still training. Training's probably the best it's been ever. Still eating all my meals, like food's decently high, I'm on 4,000 calories. Still incredibly easy to eat, and my appetite is still just crazy. But yeah, everything in terms of the bodybuilding is sound. It's just the actual content at the minute I've been struggling with. I don't think it helps either. I have been incredibly busy in work. So I've just come off a week of night shift today, which was rough. And I mean, today's like my first day off I've had in, I think, like 13 or 14 days. And before that, I only had like one day off in that week. So in like the last 21 days, I've had one day off and then this day off, so 2 days off. So finding time to make the content, edit the content, upload it, whilst working 3 weeks straight, basically, it's just busy. Like, it's very busy. But hopefully over Christmas I get some downtime and I can get right back into it, because as soon as I get back into like the groove of doing it, I really enjoy it. Anyway, today I am just on the way to the gym to train upper, which is my favourite session by far. So I will record the session and then I will talk through the session once I'm home, because I can explain why I'm doing the movements, some cues for the movements to help you guys, and it should be good. So in my upper day, it is, well, upper basically. I don't do any biceps on this day though, so it's upper minus biceps, because we tag biceps onto my quad day, which will be tomorrow. But I start off with hitting the lats, then I move to some upper back, and then we move to some delt work, some chest work, some tricep work. And it's basically in that order. Reason being is my back is more of a weakness than my chest, so my back needs that little bit more stimulus, that little bit more energy when I'm starting the session, so I can give it a little bit more, especially my lats, hence why my lats go first. Then moving on to delts, I feel like my chest is very, very good, so that is the last sort of big movements we do, is the chest movements. Moving on to some delts, then to some chest, and then just to finish off some triceps. But it's a good session. Pump's always really good. I love all the movements in this session, so it'll be a good one. Considering I've just come off a week of night shift, I feel all right. So I did all right with my sleep, really. I got home from work Saturday morning after working Friday night. I got home at 7 a.m, managed to get to sleep at 7:30, woke up at 1:30. So what's that, like 6 hours? About 6 hours sleep. And then yesterday I managed to get back to sleep at 11, and then this morning I was up at 7:30. So like between those 2 days, I think it averages out about 7 hours 15 minutes, and I'm back in my sleep schedule now. So I didn't really lose out on too much sleep, which is a massive positive, and I feel quite good today. I normally feel rough. Like yesterday felt a bit rough, doing that like switch over from a night shift to your day shift pattern. But today I feel pretty good, so we're gonna have a good session. I still have some stim pre in here. I've got the HR Labs defib. I have got half a scoop of that because I think a full scoop or a full serving size is like 400 milligrams of caffeine. I do not need that. I like working between 180 to 200 for training. I don't feel too stimmed out and too like horrible off that, but I feel like it gives me a good boost. So half a scoop of that, and I've got the ESN Crank Pump Pro in here to help the pump and concentration. Do I like it? It's okay. I think it's pretty overhyped. Like, I've had better pump products by far, but it is a good product, and I got it on Black Friday and it was like 14 quid. So can't complain for 14 quid, but I don't think it's one of the best pump products I've had. Anyway, I'm nearly at the gym now, so let's ramble in. We'll get this session done, and then I think me and Riv are making a roast today because it's Sunday. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know I didn't have an oven or a hob or an extractor fan. I have it now. It's sorted, so we can make a lovely roast. We haven't had a proper roast in a long time, so it's going to be good. It's going to be very, very good. I've also bought some steaks, so I will be having a steak on that pan. And let me tell you, I am excited to have a fucking steak again on a pan. Oh my days. I've not had one for absolutely months. That fucking hob went in prep. My prep was like 21 weeks ago, and it went near the end of it went like midway through prep. So I've not had a hob for about 30 weeks. Oh, I can make fried eggs again now. Oh, what a privilege. Anyway, I'm right by the gym, so let's get in, get this. Oh, just fucking curb my wheel. Let's get in and get this session done. I will catch you doing the voiceover. Peace. Right then, people, I'm back from the gym, so let's run through this session. So starting off with back, and we're starting off with lats. I start off with a single lat pull down on a machine. So I'll do a few warm-up sets here, and then I do a top set of 6 to 8 reps and a back off set of 10 to 12 reps. I do a lot of my lat work single arm. Reason being is I just connect a lot better doing it single arm. Whenever I do a lat movement, so say like a seated row, a lat pull down, and I do it with both arms, I end up just recruiting a little bit too much upper back, and I just can't really like dig in and get my lats completely on. Whereas if I do it single arm, I can like lean into that lat a little bit more, and I can just contract it and feel it so much better. So that's how I've always sort of trained my lats, and that's how they're improving. So top set here, right, a few pointers on this. The first thing is I'm trying to keep my spine nice and straight. I'm keeping my rib cage compressed. I'm not expanding it, I'm keeping it nice and contracted. When I'm coming up through the eccentric, I'm keeping all that tension on my lat, and as I come to the top, I'm not immediately jerking back down. I'm holding that weight there and just feeling it with my lat. And then I drive down, and the goal here is bringing the elbow into the hip. So I'm trying to drive the elbow down into the hip. And when I'm doing this, I'm imagining myself pulling through my pinky as well, because I feel like it just activates the lat a lot better. So that is the first movement. Going on to the second movement, we are continuing with lats again. We're going single arm, going with a single arm D-handle cable row. Honestly, doing any lat movements on a cable row, elite. If you don't have good back machines, but you have a cable machine, you are sound, because they feel incredible. again, I'm doing a top set here of 6 to 8 and a back off of 10 to 12. So on this movement, I'm using my arm that's not working to stabilize myself. Again, I'm keeping my spine nice and straight. As I come through the eccentric, I'm stretching and holding, and then I'm just driving back. Again, I'm trying to drive that elbow back, and I'm imagining wrapping my elbow around my spine as I get back. And when I get to the point where I just can't physically do that anymore, that's where my range of motion is. So that's the lat work for this session. Moving on now to upper back. I use it on this prime extreme row, which is incredible. So I do a couple warm-ups here because I only have one set, anywhere from 6 to 10 reps. So it's a heavy set. So I do a decent few warm-ups. What I've got here is I'm loading the pegs. So I'm loading 80% of the weight on the top, 20% on the mid-range. The reason being is I'm going to be strongest at the bottom, so that's where I want most of the weight. As I come up into the upper back and traps, I will be a bit weaker. So by loading it 80-20, top middle, it suits that profile a lot better. Here I'm trying to keep my chest pinned to that pad, and then I'm just driving elbows up and back, and it will contract the traps nice and the upper back. Very good movement. I love this prime extreme row. It's so good. Moving now on to delts. So my favorite movement for delts is doing anything on a cable with a cuff, and I love doing these Y raises with a bench pulled up. So that's what we're doing here. I do 2 sets on here. I do a 8 to 10 rep and a 12 to 15 rep. Obviously delts can handle a little bit more volume, hence why the reps are a little bit higher. The main thing here is I want to keep my lower back pinned to the pad. If I start arching my lower back, I'm taking away from the delts, and I'm making the movement easier. By me arching, I can like throw the weight back a little bit. If I keep my lower back pinned, it's all through the delts. So all I'm doing here is imagining that I'm trying to pull my arms wide and out, like a Y, and just keeping all the tension on the delts. As I come down, I'm still keeping it nice. As I come down through the eccentric, I'm still keeping the tension on my delts right to the bottom, and then driving back up. From delts, we're now moving on to chest, and the first movement again is going to be on the cable with the cuffs. So I only do 1 set on here, and this set is mainly just to warm up my chest. And by putting the cuffs on my biceps or just above my elbows, I take out any support from my arms and my forearms. They won't be able to help me through that movement. By putting them on my sort of biceps, I just keep all that tension on the chest. Again here, I'm just warming up the chest the best I can before I do pressing. But again, I'm keeping my shoulders pinned back, and then I'm just basically doing a fly almost, but it's like a fly and a press. I'm coming back and I'm getting a real nice stretch, and then I'm just driving forward, bringing my elbows close together to contract that chest. And honestly, this movement, like the amount of stimulus and contraction I get through it is crazy. It's so good. The worst part is genuinely getting into the movement. It's an absolute pain to get in. Getting in and out, absolute nightmare. Here you go, look at me try and get out here. Funny. So now we've warmed up the delts and the chest, we can now go into some pressing. Top tip, if you never get your bench in the right position on a Smith press, pull the bench up, drop the bar down, and then just make sure the bar's in the middle of the bench. Easy as that. I've actually backed off the weight a little bit when it comes to my pressing, because I've had a little bit of a niggle in my elbow. And that could be a variety of reasons. It could be that I was doing a little bit too much tricep work, or it could be that my pressing was just getting a little bit too strong before my joints. So I backed off a little bit. And look, I'm just trying to control this movement. As you can see, it's nice and controlled the whole way. As I come down, I'm imagining pressing against the bar
with enough force for it to just lower and not go up, and that's it really. Now going back onto a flat press, got the white wife beater on as well. On the incline, I do 2 sets, one 6 to 8, one 10 to 12, and on the flat press, I'm doing the same. I'm using the hammer strength flat press at the minute. I really enjoy this. I was, in my last off season, or last growth phase, I was running the incline press, which I got quite strong on. I got up to like 4.5 plates, but I feel like the flat press is actually harder. So again, just keeping it nice and controlled. And then just to finish, I am doing just some dumbbell lateral raises. To be honest with you, on these, I'm not really caring about my form. I just want to get a pump in the delts. So I'm kind of, like, the form's still sound and it's still all working through my delts, but I'm just driving as much blood as I can right at the end to the delts. So I do 2 sets here, I think 10 to 12 reps. And that is it. Because I have had that issue with my elbow, I decided not to do any tricep work today. But that is the full session. Yeah, here's some posing and show you how I'm looking. So 21 weeks post prep, 16 kilos up. I was 90 kilos this morning, and I feel like I'm looking pretty good. So I'm happy with the look at the minute. I'm happy with how conditions held. I'm eating a lot of food. But that'll be it. That'll be the end of the video, guys, because I'm going to try and keep these a little bit shorter but get more out. So next video, I'm going to finally do that Q&A that I put on my Instagram. If you follow me on my Instagram, I put up a Q&A. I'm going to finally get to doing that. I actually moved all my office around today. As you can see, I've got the black backdrop now, so it'll look a lot better. But yeah, if you've enjoyed, give me a like, comment and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Appreciate you for watching, and take care. Enjoy your week.